Political factors in the American education system. After our nation's founding, American leaders became concerned about the unity of their new nation's leaders. George Washington believed that a national university would allow leaders from across the country to gain the education needed to lead their budding country and thus replace the monarchy with an aristocracy made out of the nation's educated. While Washington's proposal was criticized for being elitist, other leaders latched onto the idea that education should exist to train up future leaders. Thomas Jefferson proposed that public education should be made free for all non-slave children for at least up to 3 years, so that future leaders could be found and trained up all over the country. In the mid-1800s, Horace Mann, often called the father of public schools, introduced the idea that education wasn't just beneficial for an elite few, but would be good for society if education was available to all. He believed that the school could be a place where children of different backgrounds would mingle together and grow up to have the same morals, values, and similar beliefs. Having these core values in common, he believed, would reduce conflict in society, reduce crime, and reduce income inequality. As early as the 1800s, there has been debate regarding whether or not it is appropriate for public education to teach patriotism. Political theorist William Godwin warned that future governments could use patriotic teachings to control the minds of future generations, and while it's up to debate whether or not American patriotism is healthy or not, history has several examples of toxic nationalism, the most obvious example of this being the nationalist propaganda in schools in Nazi Germany. But in America, there is still arguments to be made in favor of teaching patriotism. In the late 1890s, Francis Bellamy wrote the Pledge of Allegiance with the intent of fostering unity and equality in American schools. Some would also argue that in World War II, the concept of school spirit is designed to promote nationalism, with students taking pride in their sports teams who go to war against rival schools. Regardless, it is still up to debate whether or not this is good for American schools and plays a core role in education today.